existing museum which I have mentioned, office part, and existing VAR zone. Only the three were present right now. So what we have done is, we have given the distance between two blocks is 2.5 meter. So for the ventilation purpose and the window purpose, we have given a 2.5 meter gap. So we have given museum block 1, block 2, and the toilet part a bit backward. So, and the museum block 3, museum block 4 and block 5 are it's an open space. It is not a covered, it's an open exhibition type of kind of we have planned. And the guard room and the ticket counter and the guard room was not present existingly, so we have designed that as well. And the central is a courtyard one, and the footpath is around 5.5 meter.
We have tried to bring some symmetry and geometry into this layout proposed one, wherein we have tried to streamline the courtyard design. Right now it is a little haphazard, so we have streamlined that as well along with the drive.
So whatever you are seeing right now is somewhat similar to whatever is done on the side, that is the Nalanda side. Whatever we have, in our tour, we visited and we got inspired with a lot of elements that was actually present till date, very clear, very visible, and we have taken those elements and we have collected together and put it in this facade. So there are few elements that I would like to share about. That is this checker pattern that you see. It is from the temple 14, which was present at the side, and it resembles, and the element was basically taken from there. The idea, the philosophy was taken from there. And we have more examples. For example, the eye-shaped pattern that you see in this picture is also from the temple 14 and also from the temple 13, which was taken in account and is added to the facade. You can see in the upper portion here and the lower portion. So these two are the different portion of the facade. So here and here, the two places. And the next thing which was present again in the temple 14, which was this idol-like sculpture, or we can say motive. Yes, ma'am. So we can't actually take the idol thing to the toilet block. It's not very logical and it's not appropriate, place appropriate basically. So instead of that, we have transformed it, or we can say we have incorporated it into the toilet. How can you make it a place more appropriate for that? So we added this male and female look-alike idol, so to distinguish between male and female toilet. So that is it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Priyanka Ghosh. I would like to say about the future prospects of communities around Nalanda ruins. The Nalanda ruins are not only the symbol of glorious past, but also a source of future opportunities for local communities. With its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Nalanda has strong potential for heritage-based tourism, which can create jobs in guiding, hospitality, handicrafts, and local services. In the future, improved infrastructure, skill development and education support from institutions like Nalanda University can help local youth finding sustainable livelihoods. If development is planned inclusively, Nalanda can emerge as a model where heritage conservation and socio-economic growth go hand in hand, improving the quality life for people around its ruins. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tarannum. At the Nalanda ruins, I observed extensive use of exposed brickwork, horseshoe-shaped arcs, and recent niches walls that create rhythm and depth in the structure. The monasteries are planned around the courtyard with the thick walls and shaped passages that respond well to the local climate. The simple form, repetitive patterns, and human scale spaces reflect Nalanda's function as a place of learning, contemplation, and community life. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are group number 5. We worked collectively on redesigning the existing facade of the kiosks and the main entrance to the Nalanda ruins. Since the groups before us have already discussed the history and cultural importance of the site, I will not go into that detail and will instead directly explain our concept. So this was the site of Nalanda, and you can see the highlighted part in yellow. That was our study area, which consists of temple number 14 and monastery 11. So the temple 14 reflects simplicity through its clear geometry, minimal ornamentation, and reliance on proportion and mass rather than elaborate decoration. The emphasis is on structural clarity, rhythmic brickwork, and restrained detailing, allowing form and material to express spirituality without excess. So, I have walked on the front elevation of the kiosks. I'll be explaining all the details. So, for the front elevation or facade details, these pillars that you can see, these were inspired by the temple 14. They are placed at all four corners of the kiosk. Windows or openings are placed within the typical recessed niches that we saw in Monastery 11. The ashlar masonry flooring that you can see, this is the type of flooring that was seen in Monastery 11, so we took that. And then you can see in this sketch, in the stone pillars, from my understanding, what I can understand is, there were some punctures in the holes. These punctures were created as a part of an interlocking system. So the stone below would have this hole on the flat surface, and the stone sitting above that will have the protruding surface or part that will go in that, and so it will strengthen the bond between the two stones. So we have also taken that technology, whatever, to incorporate in our pillars. Then we have these jali brickworks that we have taken from different motifs of Monastery 11. Then we have wooden brackets. We have provided wooden brackets to support the projecting roof and the lintel. Massive stone bases below the pillars, referencing the structural details seen in temple. Window that earlier used to be 2 meter, we have shortened it and we made it 1.2 meter wide. Why? Enabling a better control of crowd, only 2 rows to be found. Completely diminishing the use of concrete, since sir already, as sir said earlier, concrete does not go with the existing structures of Nalanda. For mortars, we have used mud mortars in the internal walls and lime mortars in the external walls. Thank you.
Monastery is temple. The temple 14, we observe there is a different type of windows, the jali type, and they are inspired by a geometric pattern and traditional motifs. And there is a pillar. There are four placed in 4 corners of the kiosk. We are planned in the kiosk, and there is a we can see in the there is a one type of window that we are observed in here, and there is a one type of window here, and there is a few pattern we are observed in the lower structure of the temple. There is a monastery. We are observed that there are few rooms, and there is some window-like structure in here, and there is some pillars that are incorporated as an interlocking construction system, and there is some passes through the main side to the rooms in the monastery. There is a few other observations. We are observed that this site is not fully maintained, and there is some structure is fully damaged, and there is some green vegetation is occupied in the region, and few are the fungus and calcium deposit are in the sides of the bricks.
Main entrance gate, and that is our proposal. For the entrance gate, I most important symbol in Buddhism, which represent the wheel of knowledge and the Buddhist philosophy. So here is the this I prominently place as a crown, and this all are brickworks, and you can see here these are the different mudras of Buddha, and these are the all brickwork, and this is the central iron gate that I provided. Basically, I designed with the help of traditional metal craftsmanship, and while maintaining the sense of enclosure that you can see, but it's also very it's safe, but you can also okay. So these are the central iron gate, which is designed with intricate scrollwork inspired by traditional metal craftsmanship, allowing the visual permeability while maintaining a sense of enclosure. This is the drainage that were present in our site that I placed in the. This is the surrounding boundary wall. Okay, so together these elements combine the symbolism, craftsmanship and functionality, creating an entrance that resonates with the spiritual and architectural legacy of Nalanda.
I'm here just to explain that though we are a very small group, so I want to just talk about the process, what we think on site and how we present it here. So we have a strategy on site that we will take the site photographs, the recce of the site we all together did it. And we click the views, elevation, details, corners, each and every elements at the site. And we try to find out any construction techniques if there exist or whatever. Then the existing site we are not able to present here, but we also find out some decaying or at the site. So we are having that photographs also. Also, we were very much interested with the built versus nature photography, so we did that also, which we are not able to present here. And yes, we all were thinking about the accessibility of the site. We have to think about on that perspective also. We have to see that perspective also. And yes, we tried to put a ramp at kiosk, though kiosk is a small part, but plan is there. Okay, this is the very rough kiosk plan, and ramp, we are providing ramp for the wheelchair accessibility. So we want to include this accessibility also everywhere in design, but we are very limited to this kiosk part. And then we came to the proposal thought about the kiosk and the entrance gate of the studio. We also observed the overall site and we came to know, we just concluded with few points, and that Nalanda ruins left us amazed with their incredible construction techniques that have stood at the test of time, surviving for centuries. So this was the, first my experience was that I was very much amazed with this. The material used still exhibit a sense of grace and stability, testament to the inventive of the ancient builders. And the layout of the entire campus is well planned, with a clear space and sense of connectivity and flow. The drainage system is impressive. That was not our site, but yes, it was. The storage facility is also remarkable, which shows the preservation and organization of the institute of the people. The monasteries, habitat areas are equally fascinating, offering insight into the lives of the people who once inhabited the place. And overall, the Nalanda ruins buildings are remarkable example of ancient architecture and urban planning both. And the last, I want to say that bricks are often thought to be limited in their use, but they can actually be used to create intricate motifs and patterns, not just jalis or the structures or the facades. They are also strong enough to be used in a building as a structural element. And yes, when we start sketching brick by brick, we came to know about the various brick moldings, the sizes, which are used to create this type of intricate details, letting us all amazed till date. So this was the
I'd like to congratulate you all. I was just joking with the Professor Senior. I said, we created monsters. She said masters. Okay. Master monsters. In any case, it's quite commendable the fact that this is a work of one day, made by students, many of which are not students of architecture. And the meaning of this project, which was really decided at the very last minute, because to be very honest, I never been in Nalanda before 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And I saw something on internet, but at the beginning, the idea was to decide a site for making a project in either in Patna or in Nalanda. But originally, the program was also to be planned for 2 weeks. But due to my incredibly crazy, busy schedule with the university, with the practice, with the conferences, I was available only for these 5 days, and it was a crime not to come. So when Professor invited me, I was more than happy to come back, and also having the possibility to visit an archaeological site that was in my dream since when I was a child. It was fantastic. So we decided to make this project after the visit. We came already with some idea to do something light, because it was not possible to pretend to make an urban design for a group of students, a very large group of students, because we started with 50, and to have a lot of things to do, because we planned many lectures, because to respect the layout, let's say, of the program of the young projects, it was necessary to have such hours of classes, and then the visits and all the rest, and then obviously the time when students can work. So at that point we decided to do something that was the care for Nalanda, because we found Nalanda a marvelous space, but needs urgent, super urgent care. I'm coming from Italy, I'm working in restoration, I've been involved, and I'm still involved in this idea of rewriting the Venice Charter that caused a lot of problems. But Nalanda is victim not of the Venice Charter of 1964, but is a victim of the Athens Charter for Restoration of 1931, when the use of reinforced concrete was imposed by law. The present, obviously, on those days, those people were not knowing, without having a magic sphere to see the future, they didn't know what is happening to reinforced concrete in the middle long term. Today, unfortunately, we can see what is happening. And as I'm saying, coming from Italy, I have the knowledge of so many buildings, so many treasures of our heritage we lost forever due to wrong restoration, that I'm pushing, together with a lot of people from all around the world, to change the rules as soon as possible, going back to the very idea of the restoration, that is bringing back the building, the monument, in its original form, or at least in its original materials. Because the intrusion of materials that are overloading, like a cement, like concrete, are creating rigidity, like concrete, reinforced concrete obviously, creating alteration of the chemical structure of the building, which is reinforced concrete. Everything is going there. So it's time to say, okay, it was an attempt, the attempt to prod the buildings till now, but if we don't remove as soon as possible, these buildings are going to make the end of many monuments we have lost. And the intervention in Nalanda is not that difficult to be done, because basically what we have seen is that many wooden blankets that were working as architrave to the entrances of the different rooms of the monastic complex have been replaced with a slab of concrete. And below this slab of concrete, since the facade sometimes are projecting of about 20-30 centimeters, they put also this line of reinforced concrete over brackets, which obviously are replacing the same form, because that was good before the Venice Charter. The Athens Charter suggested the wrong material, but it was imposing the respect of the original form, which unfortunately now is no longer happening. So in Nalanda it's necessary to make this surgery to remove the plate and replace with something that is healing the building. But we need to have the knowledge to do that, because unfortunately we lost the knowledge. So through the new architecture, because now the other problem is that it was this bifurcation, few people decided to work on restoration, and few firms decided to work on restoration. Many people decided to move to modernity and modern construction. Step by step, the market of industry of construction made the artisans disappearing, firms expert of restoration disappearing. So it's necessary to recreate the know-how. And the only way to recreate the know-how is to create a workshop where these people can learn the way. And this is something that is not only healthy for the monument, but is also healthy for local economy, because this is something that is developing local economy through the recreation of the craftsmanship. At this point, we decided also that visiting the site, while the historical part of Nalanda is absolutely gorgeous, marvelous, the buildings that are making the site working are extremely, I can say the use ugly, let's say not proper, in the sense that they are merely thinking at the function, which is absolutely fundamental, but they don't care at all of the aesthetic. But the aesthetic of some little things next to something very beautiful, it is extremely dangerous, because it's like putting, I always make this analogy, if I put a neon cornice on La Gioconda, on the painting Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa would be no longer what is this. And the problem, the painting is still beautiful, but what is around is so disturbing that I lose interest in watching that. So I need to have the proper frame to the archaeological site. And to have a proper frame without demolishing anything, we can also improve the behavior, the thermal behavior of building, because these kiosks, these spaces are very thin and they are not performing well in protecting from heat and from hot and cold. I think what we can do is to create a new envelope built of bricks, with the same kind of bricks, with the same kind of mortar, with the same kind of form, in order to create a widespread craftsmanship that is able to intervene on historical buildings. So we gave them the task divided per project. At that point we decided also to rethink at the museum, probably with some more time it would have been possible to be more clear in the way the shape of the courtyard that hosts the museum could be related as a kind of didactic, pedagogical, let's say, building that is teaching about the way it used to be each one of these monastic complexes. The building could be considered as a series of pavilions instead of a series of rooms connected, and the central space could perform the same role of this courtyard that were in the monastic complex. So the student in one day did an unbelievable job, because in a few hours in Nalanda they documented the lexicon, they wrote something that we like to call abaco in Italian, but basically is a patent language, is the dictionary, in order to understand what are the elements that are making Nalanda special. And everything is based on the way to work with the bricks, rotating, turning, doing whatever you like. At the end it's monochrome but looks polychrome because of the shaded shadow made thanks to all these cornices. And then in this, let's say, a little bit more than one day, but in reality much less, because these were not working for 24 hours, they produced this unbelievable work, some of which looks something possible to be built tomorrow. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Professor. I've been in Patna all my life. I was born here, I have studied here, and I'm working here. And a little more than 5 decades of my life, I don't know how many times I visited the site. As a student from my school days, we used to go for picnic, but never did I read Nalanda the way we read it this time. So thank you, Professor. That was an eye-opening, and I'm sure many of you relate to what I'm saying, whoever had visited, or otherwise, if not Nalanda, many other sites we have been going to. But Professor taught us a way of reading each nook and corner of any ruin. You know, when the monuments are complete, when the buildings are complete and new, ours travel on our part. But when it is a ruin, somehow the psychology says that you tend to, exclude certain things. But with his guidance and under his, training, we learned how to look into each nook and corner. I'm sure all of you relate with what I'm saying. And that was a great learning that we could do under your guidance. And I'm sure all of you would have now a new perspective for Nalanda. And for those who have never visited Nalanda, this was your first time, I'm sure Nalanda is better understood by you than what you have seen in the books and literature. So it was a wonderful exercise, Professor, and the participants, I would say, they are all from diverse streams, not only architecture, planning, history, geography. We have faculty, we have PhD research scholars, masters, but all of them, that feeling of, different ages, different stream was not there. The whole team worked as one, and that is why we could have this great show today. So that was also a very good incredible, the hard work. And the other thing that I noticed, when we look at the output, most of them were very silent workers. We were not sure that so much of work is going to come. Whatever we could see on the boards, maybe it was 50% of it. The other 50% came from silent workers who were working behind and they presented. Do you agree with it?
I always joke with my students in Notre Dame because sometimes the night before something happens. I'm always asking them if they hire the gnomes.
Yes, yes. And different perspectives. I mean, the students from geography, they had wonderful perspective. The student from history, wonderful. I mean, it was 100%. 4 hours on the site and 4 hours in the room. And of course, you must have worked in your hostels and rooms for sure. But it was a great show and thumping success. It was a wonderful experience for we faculty also. You people gave us a wonderful time and we are happy that you joined hand with us to make it successful. And of course, Professor could travel such a long, and with the type of projects that has been shared, you can make out how busy he is. But we are so thankful to him that still he could manage 1 week to be here, train us, train the faculty and the students, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Your ability in organizing everything, it's outstanding. I already tested that 1 year ago when we had this conference in February 2004, and also now I can see this incredible work. So we met roughly a little bit more than 1 year ago, and now we are here with this great work on the walls. It's thanks to yours.
Thanks to your mentorship, sir, we would have not
Thank
been
you.
able to
And
do this.
let this let this relation continue and let's learn more under your guidance and information. Yeah, sure. So we'll move for a few minutes to the HOD rooms while they set it up for the valedictory.
Yes.
Participants and everyone present here. As we come to an end to the 5-day Gyan course on achieving urban regeneration while maintaining regional identity through urban conservation, we celebrate not only an end but a beautiful, meaningful milestone. Over these enriching sessions, we explored how cities can renew themselves while respecting the cultural layers, historic fabric and regional ethos. I heartily congratulate all the participants for their dedication, active engagement and for successfully completing this course. Now I would request Dr. Shailendra K. Mandal, Head of the Department of Architecture and Planning in NT Patna, to felicitate the foreign expert of the course, Professor Ettore Maria Mazzola, with a diary, a plant and a portrait. Executive Engineer from Bihar Museum, with a plant and a painting. Now, I request Dr. Kamini Sinha, Course Coordinator, to felicitate Dr. Shailendra K. Mandal sir with a plant. I request Architect Preksha Gupta to felicitate Dr. Kamini Sinha ma'am. Thank you so much, dignitaries. Now I welcome Dr. Kamini Sinha ma'am, the course coordinator, to present a report on the program.
The 5-day course of Gyan, trying to understand the regional identity of a place, achieve urban regeneration through urban conservation. That was the whole idea. We started nearly 15 months ago. The application was made in 24 itself, but due to procedural, it took a long time to be cleared. It was finally approved for the end of 2025. And since then, I've been talking to Professor E.M. Mazzola, and he has been very kind to accept whatever proposal I've been putting. But somehow the times have not worked out, and so it got stretched. And moreover, the semesters were going on back in his university also, and it was happening here also. We couldn't time it together, and finally we decided to have it in December 2025. The applications were floated, I think 6 months back, and a very good response came, and we had 70 participants who registered for the program. Because this topic is quite relevant, we have understood through this 5-day course, this is a very burning topic which needs Sora himself to talk on this topic. We saw through his 11 lectures how he has been addressing this in so many countries that he is working in. And also at his own university where his students are also working with him on urban regeneration and restoration. So we had 11 wonderful lectures from Professor, and then the program also included a field trip where we did a site study, and we were lucky to have the Nalanda World Heritage Site so close to our institute so that we could go there, work there, the full site. But though it took nearly half a day for travel only, we just had 4 hours on the site. But 50 students, nearly 50 students, participants were there on the site. 50 participants, 4 hours, wonderful documentation. Photo documentation, sketches were made, and we have just seen in the report that each of them had their own perspective, had their own observation, and it was good compilation of the regional texture of the place. And then back in the studios, students analyzed their data collection, tried to understand what can really, define the regional identity of the place. The site at the moment is in a shape when the archaeologist and the assistant archaeologist of the site, he said that the site needs so many interventions. So we already had problems framed by those who are the custodians of the site. So we just had to work on it. So now we had the the elements of regional identity, we had the requirements of the site, and now with the brains and the motivation and the mentoring of professor, the participants did a wonderful job at it, and we had wonderful proposals for all the 5 requirements of the site. The toilet had 2 proposals, the gate had 2 proposals, and what else? The ticket counters and the museum, yes, and kiosk also. All wonderfully done, beautifully presented, PPTs, hard copies, a great compilation of the 5-day course that we had. And now what we intend to do is compile whatever you have done, and we intend to take it forward. I had been talking to the archaeologist, the superintendent archaeologist. I've also talked to the Director General of Bihar Museum. He has also said that the government will be giving support. So we intend to take it forward. We'll be submitting a report, and then of course we'll work it. But all of you will be a part of it. Your name would be there, rest assured. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So the GYAN program has come to an end, and I couldn't believe that we have started very soon, and then we are ending also very soon. So first of all, I would just let you know that this is the 3rd GYAN program, the Department of Architecture and Planning Department at This is a testament of our faculty who has taken a lot of effort in order to get the GYAN program approved by the Ministry of Education, and this is the only department that GYAN program was proposed due to the expert which we are having to submit the proposal. So thanks a lot, Professor Itore, that made the Dr. Kamini Sinha's proposal very compelling to the Ministry of Education, and they have approved it. And I am sure you had a very good learning experiences during 5 days. And I am sorry to say that I missed that opportunity because of the administrative charge which I had, but I attended one of the lectures and I enjoyed it very much. So I will not take much of the time. I will just give it to the Professor Itore to finish it up. Just I have a couple of things to say you. Whatever you have learned, just try to use it in your professional life, and I am sure you might have learned many things which you can apply in personal life as well. So please apply it in your personal life, because unless until both the lives is not enriched, you will not be able to reflect the genuinity in any of the life. So that's my message to all of you. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words. It is my distinct privilege to welcome Professor Itore Maria Mazzola to share his experience and remarks on the program.
Obviously, first of all, thank you for organizing this fantastic program that, despite it was so fast and compressed, brought to the results we have seen today, which probably you would never believe was happening. But I was sure, honestly, because I know that the students, especially young students, when they have the right stimulation they can produce much more than what they believe. So sometimes I trust more than themselves, the students, and I'm very, very happy because the quality we have seen today, it is difficult to be found sometimes even working with a professional, because you took seriously the work, you took seriously the importance of the respect of the place of Nalanda, and the importance of this Gyan course, which is something that has to be really the business card of this school to be well known all around the world, because it's very well done. The fact that there are these interactions with other school is something that is extremely useful for everybody, because we learn one each other. Also for us as a faculty, it's possible to learn from the way students are following the programs, the way they respect what they do, and the fact that you enroll for this is because you were really thinking to do it. Nobody was forcing you to do that, and this is quite important. In general, my experience with this Gyan course, as you can imagine from my work, is extremely positive. I was extremely happy, honored to be here. I already enjoyed in February 2024 the magnificent conference that was organized by Professor Camini and obviously all the MIT. And when she asked me to check if it was any chance to work together, I said yes, I would be very happy. And I'm grateful also for the fact that the program was not planned only in Patna. Unfortunately, as I said many times, one of my dreams since when I was a kid it was to visit India. I love Indian culture, I love Indian architecture. But sometimes someone has not reasons to travel or has no time. But when you are obliged to do it, you will do it. And so it was great to have this program for Nalanda, and I was happy to be inspired from Nalanda, because as I said a few minutes ago when we ended up the presentation, the idea of what to do with you was almost foggy until we visited Nalanda and the building suggested ours what to do. Because watching at the quality of what has been done centuries and centuries ago, and what's the present condition of this building and the danger of these buildings today because of wrong recent intervention, it seems like stimulated the walls to whisper in our ears, please do this. And with it, we were able to transfer to you the whispers we heard, and you did a marvelous job, and one more time, congratulations for what you have done, and thanks for the representative of the Nalanda Museum to be here, because I really hope this message will be delivered there in order to accelerate the process to intervene on the building, because the condition of the archaeological sites are excellent, but where the concrete has been abused in wrong restoration made when they didn't know about the side effect of these materials. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and words of encouragement. Now I request Mr. Manish Sahu, sir, from Bihar Museum to share his experience.
Good evening, everyone. Basically, I have seen your presentation and I conclude that you have visited the Nalanda site, and Professor gave you the task, such a kiosk, ticket counter and entrance gate, and moreover, I have seen you have very much idea about keen or point observed during visiting the site, and something like that you have connecting the site with keenly point, such as one girl has saying that in our the main entrance, the gender equality. She is observed that it is very good, and one another girl is observed that the construction of column, that is one point. Basically, I am civil engineer, so I have just not much idea, but I have seen your presentation in that she says that the pillar in this technology, the interlocking arrangement. So it is very good that you are connecting this site, you are connecting this point during visiting the site, and I hope that you will use these techniques, and my suggestion is that whenever you design and drawing, keep such points just socialism, equality, and etc. And one point says that professor that we using the concrete, basically reinforced cement concrete, that is not much good for our environment also, but we have to do research. That is the point. Research, we have search material like that can bear load and also does not impact our environment. So this is the part of research. And second thing, professor says ki we are using the concrete structure, and then we use a facade over that. That is not good. But for making the similarity, we have just a solution. So we are going, our engineers will going to do that. Definitely we have just another option. We will use it, and we used to such material that not affect the environment. So I also request all of you that you when you decide, when you become architect, you will decide the material also in buildings, what material we will use. Then try to give such material that not affect our environment. Thank you. Well wishes for your upcoming future.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request all the participants to share their feedback. We would really appreciate if you come forward and share a few insights or any suggestions that you would put forward for.
We'll just take 3 or 4, not more than that. Time is tight. I think 2. The HOD says only 2 or 3, not 3 or 4.
We can give the suggestions.
Yeah, that's it.
So on behalf of the Department of Architecture, NIT Patna, the HOD Dr. Shailendra Mandal, Professor Dr. Kamini Sinha, and the foremost, I think, the resource person, the foreign expert, Professor Ettore Maria Mazzola, who have not just given ample amount of time, guidance. I think a lot goes into arranging this kind of a educative workshop, which is not just for 1 or 2 sessions, but full 5 days under the Ministry of Education, Government of India, called GYAN, Global Initiatives of Application of Knowledge. I think it's very, very important. We have learned so much, we have gained so much, and I think that was the whole motto of it. They have not just conceived it, executed it extremely well. All of us have, definitely learned so many more aspects about urban regions.
Though geography department, but the method perspective we got from the architect was very inspiring for us. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Department at T09.
So this was my first partner and NIT also. So in this course, I got to know about that has been taken in the conservation of sites from the, and in the text I also got to know how India is the conservation, the historical heritage along the different in the India.
it's my immense honor and privilege to deliver the vote on this significant occasion. The successful conduct of our one-week global of academic network on this course at of architecture in India. First, I would like to extend my deep gratitude to patron Professor Jan, Director in IT. His visionary leadership and steadfast support are the driving force behind all our academic endeavors. We are grateful for his unwavering support in conducting this Gyan course. I extend most heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished foreign expert, Professor Ettore Maria Mazzola, Professor of Architecture and Urbanism at the University of Notre Dame, Rome. Sir, we are incredibly grateful that you have traveled all the way from Rome